70% of the voters don't want this. But you know, the information that you all received was pretty one-sided. And this could potentially bankrupt this county. There's no doubt about that. It could bankrupt this county. And you can still get this landfill. That potential exists. If you don't believe it, you've got your head in the sand, because that is out there. The only thing that I can tell you folks out there is to go out and say, okay, when you go out and drive on our roads that are probably some of the best in the state, and you know, after this goes down the road and you have potholes in that road, well, 70% of the people come in here and tell those folks what's going on. Will you talk to the people in this courthouse, and will you tell them that, you know, we're sorry that this county is bankrupt and you won't be getting a raise for the next 10 years or so? Those are some of my concerns. Will you tell them that we're going to raise the taxes here at the top, and then go out and let's go out and put out another survey and let's say, okay, now we have no more jobs, we have no more money, we have nothing left. Because this is the thing that nobody's looked at this, folks. And you need to look at this, and you need to look at it hard. Now, in terms of the settlement, you know, maybe that these, some of the settlement terms, maybe we are a little light on these. You know, maybe there's something that we have some room for. But at the end of the day, if we get this all settled out at the end, because it's not going to be you folks, it's not going to be me that decides this thing, it's going to be the Supreme Court. Because let's just take this out. We win the first round. You think it stops there? It doesn't. It goes to the 9th District Court. It goes to the Supreme Court. And it gets costly, and it gets costly for both sides, and it gets costly very quick. And the price goes up. I don't know how much our insurance is going to cover for us on this. You bankrupt this county, and now instead of 70% of the people that are mad at us, you've got 100% of the people. Because not only do we have the landfill, but we are a bankrupt county. And so those are things that we absolutely need to consider. And if you don't think so, you better figure this out again. Because you didn't sit there in a settlement conference with the judge the way that these 5 commissioners did. So my comments on that are strictly when I come to this proposed settlement, you know, I would like to have some sort of an input on that. We could have, I can tell you right now, we could have decided this thing without this hearing, but it was a unanimous decision that we came to the voters of this county, because I want you all to know the score. I don't think anybody knows the score in this ballgame. And how would you feel if we spent all the money and we still get this landfill?
Well, how did you get here in the first place?
Yeah, why was this?
To begin with.
Yeah.
One more word. Anybody know me? I ask for respect from everybody. He has.
Where's our respect? How come we didn't get it to begin with?
You will get your turn.
There'll be public
If you say another word, I'll have you removed. Everybody's going to respect everybody. We're adults in this room. So no more.
And
When he's done, you'll have your shot.
and going back to that, in 2007, at ground zero, we wouldn't be here where we're at today. 2007, you know, I think there was when I look back at this, I wasn't a commission on record. I'm out here just trying to do the best I can to solve this. I wasn't a commissioner on record. I wasn't a part of all of that back there. But the way I see it, and it's a matter of record, you all have the record, is that the RPC was truly the persons that were the permitting agency in this, and they are the ones that it never came before the commissioners. You know, all the commissioners had some knowledge of this, but they didn't think that it would end at the RPC. They really believed it was coming back to them. And that wasn't the case. It was an oversight. It was whatever it was. But that's the facts of the case. You can't dispute any of that. The RPC had that jurisdiction because this board gave it to them years ago. And that's how these boards work, folks. And so irregardless of what happened in '07, I think we could have defended this so much easier. There's no damages involved. There's none of that involved. So when we fast forward, this commission body, there was mistakes that were made. There's a lot of inconsistency. There's a myriad of problems. This is not a clean case, and the lawyers will tell you that it's not a clean case. So what I would like is even if we don't do this settlement today, is I would like the public to know, to absolutely know, that this is not a slam dunk case. This could potentially bankrupt this county. I want the public to know that. You bankrupt this county and you still have a landfill because the Supreme Court will decide this. I want the public to know that. I want them to know all this information and then make that decision. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Dan?
You know, I really don't have any comments other than kind of say that Mike wasn't a part of this back in 2007. It was made, the rest of us, including Tom Franklin, voted yes to amend this ordinance. So I hope everybody understands that part too. And that's it.
All right.
Well, I think we flogged this horse quite a bit, and it's been a very controversial issue. I feel very mixed about it, and this is a very tough decision. I have listened to the judge, I have listened to the attorney, and what they have said is I don't think we have a strong enough case to overturn this. Therefore, I think we should do some sort of a settlement, and we do have a chance to get some more gains through a host agreement. It's time for us to move on, try to take the advantages, and that's about all I know. That's about all I can say. It's just a bad deal. We got ourselves into it. We better get out of it. I'm like Mike. I think we have to stand an opportunity to be very costly to this county. And we worked very hard over the years to keep this county very fiscally strong. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess that leaves it up to me. I have to agree with Mike on the part that as commissioner, you have to look at everything. Public and how it affects the public in the future. That means having garbage here forever or losing money and having garbage here forever. We got to look at everything. So Mike had good sound stuff bases that he went on. But I totally agree with Mr. Franzway because we voted in this room to deny the CUP renewal on the basis, sound basis. We all individually thought through this, and on sound basis, we denied the CUP. Also, the 6 proposals we have in front of us, you can shoot holes in every one of them from now on forever. They're too vague. They leave us open. So that's my comments at this time.
First of all, Commissioner Bell, I want to remind you that roads are not funded by the general fund. They're funded by gas tax. Ecology will not have anything to do with that road. And I want to also remind you about the ordinance. It clearly states, by the recommendation and approval of this board, we do have to say a big one. The ordinance says so. The ordinance says we approve.